Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home full-body Pilates workout. Today is a Pilates workout using a magic circle or a ring. We're going to be sculpting our entire bodies using the ring for added resistance and as a tool for stretching. You're going to feel incredibly strong and well stretched after completing this routine, so let's go ahead and move right into our warm-up. So we're going to stand on the mat. We're going to hook our fingers, our thumbs, in the inside of the ring. Fingers are spread. From this position, we're going to lift the arms up, lengthening up through the crown of the head and lower. Inhale, lift the ring overhead and lower down, mobilizing the shoulders. Breathing in through the nose to lower and exhaling through the mouth to lift. Good. Inhaling and exhaling, mobilizing those shoulders, lengthening through the spine, soft bend in the knees, and let's add that core engagement if you haven't already. So as you lift the ring overhead, I want you to draw your navel in toward your spine. Good. Try not to arch the spine as you bring the ring overhead. Keep the vertebrae stacked one on top of the other for 3 and 2. Lift and lengthen. And last 1, keep the ring overhead. Turn your toes slightly out if they aren't already. Gentle micro bend in those knees, and then let's just stretch over to the right side. Nice long fingers here, bringing right ear to right shoulder, then restacking the spine and breathing out to stretch and lengthen over to the left. Good. Recentering, inhaling and exhaling over to the right. Good. Lift and stretch. Good. Lift and stretch. One more. Lengthen through the spine and then stretch through the side body. Amazing work. Now from here, we're going to go into some roll downs. So I'd like you to take the ring overhead, nice tall spine, gentle micro bend in the knees. Inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to bend a little bit more deeply into the knees and move into a flat back position. So arms come out in front, spine is nice and long, core is engaged, and we're sending the hips back behind. Then fall forward, letting the head hang, letting the arms hang. Send a little bit of weight forward into the balls of the feet, stretching the backs of the legs. And then deep inhale here. And as you exhale, I want you to draw your navel in toward your spine and restack the bones of your spine, bringing the ring overhead. Let's do another one of those. So coming forward, lengthening, nice flat back position. Reach through those fingers, lengthen through the spine, fall forward. Deep inhale here, and as you exhale, tuck your tailbone, draw your navel in, and restack the vertebra, one on top of each other. Good. Lengthen through that spine. Fall forward into your flat back position. Good. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Then let everything nice and loose in the upper body. Deep inhale, and as you exhale, tuck your tailbone and ripple up through the spine, lengthening and lifting. Amazing work. Good. Now we're going to warm up the hips and the knees a little bit here. So ring comes overhead, and then I'm going to bring the ring down and bring the right knee up. Lift, and then switch legs. So I'm stabilizing through my supporting leg and driving that knee up, trying to maintain balance as we do so. Now, when you get a little bit more comfortable with the movement, I want you to start engaging your core, belly button to spine, really drawing navel in as you lift that leg. Good. A little bit of a crunching motion here to warm up the abdominal wall. Lifting those knees. Good. Let's go 5. Give it energy for 4. 3. Lift that knee a bit higher for 2. And final 1. Amazing work. Now from here, we're going to get right into our standing portion of the workout. So I'd like you to take your stance nice and wide. We're going to bring the weight or the ring over to the left, and then we're going to bend through the right knee and lift the ring over to the right. Coming over to the left, and then lifting left heel as we swing the ring up and over. Good. I want you to really maintain a nice tight core here. Good. Amazing. Give it a lot of energy, nice strong straight arms, working into those shoulders, working into that waistline. Let's go 3 and 2 and final 1. Amazing, switching sides. Good, coming over and bending that left knee as you lift right heel up off the mat. Good. I want you to really plug your belly button in towards your spine as you bring that ring up and over. Good. Lengthening up through that leg. Let's go 3. Give it a lot of energy for 2. Amazing work. And last 1. Nicely done. Now we're going to lower down into a squat, nice wide knees, toes are turned out. Take the ring in front of you. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to twist to the right, keeping the hips facing forward. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the left and back to center, keeping that neck long, keeping that chest lifted. As you rotate from side to side, I want you to really focus on that waistline. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Get down a little lower if you can. Good work. We've got 3 and 2. Twist a bit further. And final 1. Amazing work. Now, we're going to take the ring between the ankles. So I've got the cushioned part of the ring. Between those ankles, the stance is about a little bit wider than shoulder distance apart. We're going to warm up the calves, the thighs, the glutes. So I'm going to take my hands on my hips. I'm going to lift up onto the balls of my feet and then lower. Lift it up and lower. Maybe you want your hands out to the side if that's better for balance. Focus on lifting, squeezing the calves, and softening the heels back down to the mat. Good. Working that balance and control, gently squeezing the ring so that those leg muscles are really switched on. Good. Lifting and lowering. So be careful not just to let your heels kind of slam back down to the mat. You want to ease them down, keeping the tension on those calves. Thighs are switched on here as well. Helps with balance and control. Shoulders are down away from the ears, and the core is engaged. Let's go 2. Amazing. And last 1. Great work. Now we're going to go into a squat. We're going to lower and lift. Lower and lift. Good. Lower and lift. Now notice I'm not letting my chest come forward here. I'm keeping my chest lifted. I'm lowering my tailbone down toward the mat and then squeezing the glutes, putting weight into the heels as I lift. Good. Lower, abs into lift. I want you to switch on your pelvic floor here as well. Lifting your pelvic floor as you engage that lower body and lift up. Good. Now if you want to add on to this, come up onto those toes between each repetition for a little balance challenge. If that's too much, just keep your heels down on the floor as you lower and lift from that squat. Good work. Lower and lift. Inhale and exhale. Amazing control. Keep gently pushing the sides of that ring with those ankles. Good. For 4, 3, you're doing great. 2, lift, and final 1, elevate. Nice work. Now we're gonna lower down into a squat. You can take your hands at prayer or out to the sides, whatever feels more comfortable. And we're just going to turn those knees in so that they're squeezing together as we hold in that squat. We're just pulsing it out here. Thighs should really be fired up here. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears. Nice long spine. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Take a hold of your ring, and we're going to move into some upper body work here, starting off from a standing position and then moving down onto the mat. So we're gonna work into the chest muscles. Nice wide stance, toes turned out, fingers long, heels of the hands connecting with the ring. We're gonna inhale and exhale, squeeze and lower into a wide squat. Squeeze and lift. So your neck is long, your shoulders are down away from your ears. You're squeezing the sides of that ring. Knees are turned out, and then we're lifting, driving up through the heels. Good. Squeeze, engaging those chest muscles. Squeeze and hold, and then lift up. Working those upper body muscles, working the glutes and thighs. Good. Squeeze. Give it a little bit more force every time you come down. Good. Keep that chest nice and lifted, chin parallel with the floor. You're doing so well. Great work. Let's go 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2. And on our final one, we're gonna come down and hold in a nice slow squat and pulse. Wide elbows, nice open chest. Pulse that ring for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift it up. Amazing work. Come to the end of your mat. Lift up and gently lower down onto your knees. Lower your ring down to the floor. Step back into a plank. Lower down. Bend your arms out long. Now, from this position, we're going to work our upper back muscles. So legs should be about shoulder distance apart. We're going to extend the arms out long. Inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to lift those arms. So my thumbs are hooked on the inside of the ring. Fingers are long. Neck is in line with the spine. Gaze is down on the floor. Lifting arms, engaging those upper back muscles and shoulders. So I've just got my chest hovering above the floor. Finding length through the spine. As we lift those arms up, don't worry about how high they get. Just really focus on contracting those upper back muscles. Nice, strong, straight arms. If you'd like to challenge yourself, lift your legs at the same time. Be sure not to let any compressing happen in the lower back as you do so. So if it's too much with those legs, simply leave them down on the mat. Good. Let's go 5 and 4, 3, hover and float, 2, and on our last one, we're gonna come up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Take the knees nice and wide and push back into child's pose for a moment. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Amazing. Coming forward once again. We're going to move into the same position, but this time we're going to have the ring behind the back. So we're lowering down onto the mat, taking the ring behind, hooking the thumbs on the inside, nice long fingers, extending and lengthening through the spine. So we don't want to be lifting up our head here. We want the gaze to stay down on the floor as we lift up, stretching through those arms, pulling the ring out to the sides with those thumbs. Good, lower, relaxed. Inhale, and exhale to lift and lengthen. Lower, and lift and lengthen. Add those legs if you'd like to. If it's too much, simply keep them down on the ground. Good. For 2. And final 1. Hold. And we're going to lift up a bit higher, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Take the ring off to the side and push back into child's pose. Okay, from here we're going to move into some push-ups. So I'm going to use the ring for some support, feedback, and resistance. I'm going to place the ring vertically on the mat with the pad up. I'm going to just position my chest, my breastbone on that pad. Now, if at any point that becomes uncomfortable for you, I want you just to remove the ring and do the push-ups without it. Now, my fingers are spread, spine is in neutral. No over curvature in the spine, knees are down on the floor. Gaze is down on the mat as we lower the chest and then push the mat away up through the heels of the hands. Lower and push up. Good. Make any adjustments you need to with that ring. Amazing work. Lower the chest and lift. Lower and push up through the heels of the hands. Lower down and push up. Good work. Now, if you're feeling strong and comfortable here and you want to add this double pulse with me, let's do it. But if not, you can just go up and down regularly. So I'm going to add a pulse. I'm going to pulse with elbows bent, and then straighten the arms. Pulse, pulse, and push up. So keeping the tension in those arms as we pulse down, and then pressing up, weight into the heels of the hands to lift. Core is engaged as we push up. You're doing great. Nice long spine, shoulders down away from the ears. We've got 5. And 4. Last 3. You can do it. You're doing great. For 2. And final 1, pulse, pulse, and push it up. Nicely done. Now we're going to move into some bicep work. Using the ring, you can be standing for this if that's more comfortable for you than kneeling. I'm going to place the ring on my shoulder. You can either have long fingers for this, or you can grip the ring like so. Opposite hand is on the hip. We're making sure that the spine is nice and tall here. We're not leaning to one side. Neck is long, gaze is straight ahead. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're just going to compress the ring by pushing down, tension on the bicep as we do so. Good. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Amazing work. Push down and then resist it up. Push down, tension on the bicep on the way up as well as on the way down. Good work. Really push down with power and energy. You've got this. Let's go. 10 and 9. Push down as far as you can. 8. Nice long neck. 7. Maintaining that tall posture for 6. Good. Nicely done. 3 and 2. And on our final one, we're going to come down and hold. Hold it there. Push down as much as you can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Working those biceps. 3, 2, and 1. Push down a bit further and release up. Nice work on that side. Let's switch over to the opposite side, positioning that ring on the shoulder. Hand comes on the hip. Nice tall spine, shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale here and exhale, push down. Good. Inhale to release, exhale to push down. So I really want you to come up slowly. Keeping the resistance, keeping the tension on that bicep the entire time. Good. Pushing down with power, matching the strength and energy from the one side as on the other. Good. We've got 9. Push it down. 8. Nice long neck. Keep the chin parallel with the floor. 7. Make it powerful. 6. You're doing so well. 5. Push down a little further. For 4. Resist it on the way up. 3. Last 2. And final 1. Push it down. We're holding it there as far as you can for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Push down a little further. 2 and 1. Push it down, and slowly release up. Amazing work. Come into a cross-leg position and just gently stretch from side to side for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Okay, from here we're going to get into our ab work. So we're going to lower down to the mat, finding the center of the mat, and I'm just going to pop the ring between the knees. So thighs are squeezing, holding the ring in place. I'm going to interlace my fingers, take them behind the head, supporting the head in the hands, elbows are wide. Now we're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to flatten the lower back down to the mat and come into a crunch. Now as we crunch up, we're going to apply a little bit more pressure on the ring, contracting the abdominal wall and squeezing the thighs, lifting through the pelvic floor. So inhale, we relax the legs. Exhale, we squeeze, bringing those legs to parallel, curling and crunching up. Good. Inhale to lower. Exhale, rest head on top of the shoulders, drawing navel in and lifting. Good. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to curl and crunch up. So we want the gaze to be looking out between the inner thighs. Head rests on top of the shoulders as we curl and crunch up. Squeezing that ring. Good. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Keeping those elbows nice and wide. Core switched on as we lift and then lower with control. Good. Now, if you haven't already, really switch on those pelvic floor muscles as well for extra added benefit. Drawing the pelvic floor muscles up as we contract the belly button down toward the spine. Good work. Working the thighs as well as the abs. Let's go 3 and 2 and final 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, from here we're going to bring the arms overhead, palms facing up toward the ceiling. If you'd like to keep your hands behind your head for this, you can if you want more support for your neck. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to bring the hands by the sides and pulse the ring. 1, 2, 3, holding tension on the abs. Relax the legs and the abs as we lower down. Lift, squeeze, 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 and lower down. Great work. Lift it up, squeeze, 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 keeping those abs engaged. Good. And lower down. Good. And lower. Great work. Squeezing those thighs, working those abs. Amazing work. We've got 5. Great work. For 4. You're doing so well. Last 3. Peel head, neck, and shoulders up a little higher. You can do it. 2. And last triple pulse. 1, 2, 3. And lower down to the floor. Take the ring in the hands. We're going to stretch the legs out long, and we're going to move into a roll-up. So I'm just holding on to my ring. I've got my thumbs hooked, and my fingers are long. I'm going to peel head, neck, and shoulders up, lifting it into a seated position, and then tuck the tailbone and round down, working the lower abs. Good. Peel up, working your upper abs, lengthening, and then tucking the tailbone and lowering. If it's too much to come all the way up from the mat, come down halfway like so, and then lift. Coming down part way, and then lifting. You're still going to work your abs. Otherwise, you're coming all the way up from the mat if you have the strength to do so. Amazing work. Good. Lifting and reaching for the ceiling, tucking that tailbone, lowering one vertebra down at a time. Good. And lowering. Let's go 4. Lift. Working those lower abs the whole way down. Amazing. And last 2. And relax it down. And final 1. Nicely done. Now, from this position, we're going to go into a double leg stretch. So we're going to roll back down to the mat. We're going to start off with the easier version and move on to a more challenging version. So we're going to either keep head, neck, and shoulders down in the mat or curl up into a crunch position. We're going to extend arms and legs and then bring it back in. You can lower head, neck, and shoulders between each rep if you would prefer. We're lengthening and then drawing the limbs in, resting the ring on top of the shins. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. Extend and belly to spine to bring the knees back in. Legs are squeezing together here. Now, if you want to try the more challenging version, we're coming down onto the mat. So bringing the feet through the ring, legs extend, lift the tailbone, and lower down. So as you lift up to get through the ring, you're really working your lower abs by lifting that bum up off the floor. Good, holding in the crunch and then lowering down. Stretch those legs out, thread them back through, and lower. Good work. Whew, abs are working hard here. Amazing. Keep it up. Keep squeezing those legs together. Keep pointing through the toes. For 2, you've got this. I know it's tough. And last 1. And relax it down. Bring your knees in toward your chest. And breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, stretching your lower back for 3 and 2 and 1. Nicely done. We're going to roll ourselves up to a seated position. Now from here, we're going to get right into some oblique work. So we're going to take the ring out in front. Again, my thumbs are hooked on the inside of the ring. I'm going to stretch the legs out long. If that's too much with the legs outstretched, if you're slumping in the spine, I want you to bend the knees and sit up a little taller. Good. From here, keeping the bum cheeks both down on the floor, the hips evenly weighted, we're going to lift the left leg and twist to the left. So as I lift, I'm curving the spine back slightly, so that I'm really feeling the tension on those abs and working into the waistline. Good work. Amazing. Returning to center between each repetition for 4. Twist a little bit further. 3, working those obliques. For 2. And final 1. Amazing. Now we're going to switch sides. I'm going to move over so I have a little bit more space on my right side, sitting up nice and tall, curving back as you lift that right leg. Good. Keeping that left leg really still and stationary, not letting it move as you twist over to the right side. Working into those right obliques. You're doing so well. Really pulling your navel in toward your spine with each rotation for 3 and 2 And final one. Amazing. Bend the knees. Sit up really nice and tall. Take the ring out in front. C-curve your way back so that your spine is slightly rounded and that tension's on the abs. We're going to come from side to side. Now I want you to have a look at those knees. Make sure they're not swaying from side to side. Evenly weighted across those hips. Rotating into that waist. Good, as you bring the ring up and over, drawing an arc in the air. Good. Come back a little bit further into your C curve if you want more challenge for those obliques. Good. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Pick up the pace. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 to center. And hook the ring on the bottom of your feet. Take your grip so it's on the inside of your ring. And use that grip to pull yourself down into a nice deep back body stretch. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale. And as you exhale, draw your belly button in toward your spine a little bit more, creating more space to bring your chest closer to those shins or thighs. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, from here we're going to get into some glute and thigh work. I'm going to put my legs on the inside of the ring so that the cushion part is just resting on the outside of the thighs. We're going to get into some bridge work here, so we're lowering down onto the mat. We're going to start off with the hands by the sides and the spine is in neutral. So we've got that little bit of space between the low back and the mat. From here, I'm going to tuck the tailbone, flattening the lower back down onto the floor, and I'm going to lift up into a bridge position. Now from here, we're going to lower the bum and lift. Lower the bum, just hover it above the floor, and lift. Good. Lower and lift. All the while gently pushing out on the inside of the ring so that those thighs are activated. The tailbone stays tucked. Breathing in through the nose to lower and out through the mouth to lift those hips. Good. Never overarching the lower back as we do so. Keeping that tailbone tucked, keeping that core engaged, keeping the tension on those legs. Good. Squeezing the bum with every lift, lowering and lifting for 5, 4, belly to spine as you press those hips up, 3, and 2, and final 1. Good. Now from here, we're going to lift the heels and then lower. Lift the heels, keeping the hips elevated and lower. So lift up onto the balls of those feet, activating the calves, the thighs, good, the glutes, and then lower. Lift up and lower. Great work for 10, 9. Keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. For 6, lift up those hips. 5, keep the tailbone tucked. 4, 3, 2, and on our last one, we're going to hold up in our bridge, up on those toes, and pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze the glutes, lift a bit higher, and lower down. Amazing work. Now from here, we're going to move into a side lying position. So I'm going to lower down onto my left side, and I'm just going to point my right toe and just hook or place in that space between the heel and the ankle. So, or in that kind of crook there that we're creating. And then the other side of the ring is coming just below the bum so that it's held securely in place. I'm applying a little bit of pressure so it doesn't move. The knees are stacked, one on top of the other, and the hips are stacked here too. Keep pointing through the toe. It'll help to keep the ring in place. From here, I'm gonna lift that top leg and lower. Now, as I lift, I'm kind of drawing a little bit of an arc in the air with that knee, lifting and lowering. Good. Applying a bit of pressure to the ring as I lift and lower, keeping it firmly in place by squeezing it gently. Good. As we lift and lower that leg. Now, I really like this move. I feel like I can feel the work happening in that area where the sort of underbum area, if you will, the area where the hamstring and the glute meet. It's a really good exercise. It's also strengthening the hamstrings. Good. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but when you get the movement down, you can really feel the work. Super effective. Good. Let's go 10, 9, 8. Keep moving up and down with control. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, abs in, and 1. Nicely done. Now I'm going to bring the ring down onto the mat and just place my lower leg inside the ring. I'm going to point the toes and switch on the leg muscles so that that ring is staying upright. It's really firmly pressed down onto the floor. It's not going to move. Now I'm going to go into some leg lifts here. So I'm going to lower the top leg, pressing down on the ring, and then lift. Lowering, pressing down on the ring, tension on the ring, and then lift. Good. Press down, squeeze the thighs, and lift. Good. Press it down and lift it up. Amazing work. Press down, squeezing those inner thighs, and then lift. Working the outer thighs, working the hips. Good. Breathe out to press down. And as you press down, I really want you to engage your belly button to your spine. Amazing work. Let's go 9 and 8. Can you press down a little bit more? For 7, you're doing so well. 6, keep that neck nice and long. 5, 3, and 2. And on our final one, we're going to press down and then bring the leg up and tiny circles forward. Pressing down onto the mat for stability through that supporting hand, circling forward, about the size of an orange. Good. Breathe through it. I know these are tough. Keep the leg elevated. Pause and reverse direction with those circles, circling backwards. Little tiny circles in the air with that big toe. Keep that leg lifted, almost there. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. We're going to switch sides now. Okay, so coming down onto your side, pointing your toes so you've got that space above your heel to position the ring, and then that space just under the bum. We're going to really squeeze that ring in place so that it doesn't move. Knees are together, hips are stacked. Then we're going to lift that top knee and lower. Lift and lower, drawing that little arc in the air with that top leg. Good. Ooh, if your ring is slipping like mine, I've got really slippy leggings on today, you're going to need to challenge yourself like I will by applying a little bit more pressure to the ring so that it doesn't move. So you're really squeezing, which is an extra added benefit as you lift and lower that leg. So we're working the glutes, working the hamstrings as we lift and lower that leg. Squeeze so that it doesn't budge. Good. Working that challenge, working that control. Good. As we lift and lower that top leg. Keep those hips stacked. Don't let that top hip roll back. You're doing so well. Breathe through it. I know these are tough. Let's go 10, 9, keep those toes pointed, 7, 6, 5, really squeeze those glutes for 4, 3, 2, shoulders are relaxed, and last 1. Ooh. Okay, now we're going to place that ring down on the floor. Lower leg is actively holding the ring in place. Toes are pointed. We're lifting that top leg up and resting it on the top of the ring. We're going to lift that top leg and then press down, squeezing the thighs together as we do so. Press down, engaging the core as you lower that leg. Good. Inhale up. Exhale down, squeezing thighs. Good. Keep both toes pointed, both sets of toes pointed the entire time so those muscles stay switched on. Really give that push down a lot of energy, holding for a split second with the ring compressed and then lifting that leg back up. Good. Up and down. Lift and lower. Let's go 10. Relax those shoulders. Engage that core. 9. Let's go 6 and 5. Belly to spine. For 4, working that core at the same time as those thighs and glutes. Last 2. And final 1, press it down, then elevate back up and start drawing those tiny circles forward. Pressing down onto the mat with your supporting hands so you're not rocking in the torso. Drawing little circles in the air with that big toe. Keep that leg elevated and pause. Reverse direction of those circles. Tighten the core for more stability. Good. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Lower down. We are now ready to move in to the cool down and stretch portion of our workout. We worked our abs, arms, glutes, and thighs, as well as those upper back muscles. I'd like you to hook the ring on the bottom of the right foot and roll down onto the mat. We're going to stretch out the hamstring. You can switch your grip if you'd like so that your hands are on the inside of the ring, pulling the ring down toward your chest, whatever feels right. You can have that opposite leg bent or straight. I want you to flex the foot as much as is comfortable so you can feel that stretch into the calf as well. If you're having to bend your knee here to get the leg up so high, then I'd like you to straighten the leg and lower it slightly. So we want a straight leg if possible as we stretch out those hamstrings. Breathing deeply here, pulling the leg a little bit closer toward you on the exhale. Good. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as you lengthen through that leg. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the face for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch your feet in the ring. Bringing opposite leg into a straight position, flexing the foot. Good. Breathing into those tight areas. Again, maintaining relaxed shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, maybe you slowly draw that leg in a little bit closer towards you, deepening your stretch. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Now from here, we're going to move into a kneeling position. Take the ring behind the back, hook your thumbs on the inside, and just extend the spine. Good. Lengthening through those fingers. Stretching the arms back behind you as you bring that gaze up. And then relax, inhale. And exhale, repeat. Lengthen through those arms, lengthen through those fingers, extending the spine for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Now we're going to go into a version of child's pose or puppy pose with the support of the rings. So I'd like you to take your knees nice and wide and then straighten your arms out and just slightly come forward onto those knees so that you can really stretch through the spine, letting your arms, your hands just rest on the ring and lengthen out through that tailbone. Chest is hovering above the floor. Shoulders are being nice and stretched here. Breathing deeply in through the nose, filling the back of the rib cage, and as you exhale, sink a little bit more deeply into your stretch for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift up. From here, we're going to bring the left foot in toward the inner right thigh, and I'm just going to hook my ring on the bottom of the right foot, take holds of the sides, and just pull myself down into a side body stretch. Again, continuing to stretch the hamstring from a slightly different angle here, stretching the inside of the thigh as well, stretching through the side body, keeping both bum cheeks down on the floor. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs. Hooking the ring on the bottom of the foot and pulling yourself down into a side body stretch. Stretching the legs, stretching the spine. Keeping the foot flexed for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift up. Bring the ring overhead. Reach and stretch up for the ceiling. And then lower it down. Lift your shoulders up by your ears and roll them down and back for 3, and 2, and 1. Amazing work. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that routine, and I look forward to moving again with you soon. Bye for now.